Yo, what's up YouTube? Did you guys miss me? I know I miss uploading, but don't worry, you guys didn't miss anything. I'm gonna tell you everything that's happened in the last few months. But before we do that, let's cue the intro. Whoa! So, what happened these past few months was we were waiting for parts to come in because I'm not the type to start a build before I get all the necessary parts. So the plan was for my brother's custom turbo kit to be made before mine's. Then while we were finishing his car, mine could be built. Well, that plan went to complete shit. As they started building mine's first, since we had a fitment issue with my brother's turbo manifold, so what we had to do is we had to scrap that manifold and build a completely new one. So we sat around for waiting for at least one of them to be built first. During that time I had done a lot of thinking and I decided that I wanted to pursue this YouTube as a full-time job, because I love cars and I love building these things. How could you not? And so during that time, what I did was I studied cinematography and I studied color grading and just editing in general, because I wanted to bring like a different aspect to the automotive YouTube channels. So I wanted to bring the best content for you guys, and I wanted to do something different where it's never been done for a automotive channel. And so I want to provide the dopest car content on YouTube in a way that's never been done. And so yeah, that's what happened. But now we got all the parts in, and well, we got all the parts for my car. So what we did was we moved my brother's car out and we brought mine back in. So today we're gonna get started on my car. All right, look at that. She does not look like what she used to look like at all. So today what we're gonna do is put the intercooler back in. You see what happened last time was the intercooler was rubbing on this part. So I want to get those addressed. I want to make like a proper bracket system for it. That way it doesn't rub on the frame rails anymore. So what we're gonna need to do first is put the intercooler back in, mock the intercooler, put some spacing on there so it doesn't touch anymore, and then figure out a way to make a bracket for it. So the goal for today is to devise a bracket system for the intercooler. What we need to do is put something here, that way it gives us a little bit of spacing so it doesn't rub anymore, and then figure out a bracket system for it, and we'll go from there. Hopefully we can get a good system to where we can mount the intercooler and the radiator. So I got a lot of new parts for you guys. Radiator, custom built by Origin. So we'll go from there. So this car is looking like absolute turd right now. After we got the bracket and everything made up already, what I'm gonna do is probably pull the motor, get the engine bay resprayed. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys would do, because honestly, once I put the intercooler on, you really can't tell, but I have too much OCD. I might wanna just redo that. But let me know in the comments down below, if you guys were me, what would you do? I guess what we could do is put this cardboard under here. That way it'll give us just enough clearance to where it doesn't rub. Just FYI, there was a bracket system in the previous build, but it wasn't that great, obviously. That's why I put these these little neoprene stickers on the back right here. Alright, so I just installed the turbo manifold off camera because I want to surprise you guys with that. But for now, I'm going to put it right here. That way we can get the proper spacing between this and the turbo. I'm going to go grab the turbo and put it on, mock it up, and make sure we're not hitting anything before we measure out a bracket for it. I said I wasn't going to show you guys, but I'm just going to show you anyways, because we have to install this turbo. Cue the cinematic for the new turbo manifold. So, did you guys like that? Yeah, I bet you did. Comment down below what you think about the new manifold. But now that we got that out the way, let's go grab the turbo, put it on to see how it fits. All right. Woo! Yeah, you like that floor mat? This is the new studio. But I'm not gonna show you guys the studio just yet. I did a whole YouTube studio build video and I documented everything. So let's check out the turbo. Oh yeah, you like that? So now that we got the snail on, we can check for clearance here. I should probably clock this the way I want it to first. Clock it like that. And then have the piping go like this, or like this, and then I think that's what we're gonna do. I got all the measurements, made sure everything is lined up already. I clocked it the way I wanted. I'm thinking we can do a bracket from here all the way up and into here, all the way up and into here. All right, so I got my measurements and a little template. What I'm gonna do now, go in Fusion 360 and try to 3D print a bracket. And then if all that is good, what we're gonna do is we're gonna send the file to send, cut, send, and then have them cut it and make our bracket. All right, so the 3D printed idea failed miserably. I designed it up and it just looked real stupid, and I'm not gonna show you guys that to save myself the embarrassment. But I saw one of these laying around, so I had another idea. These are the radiator stays. And the idea is to get a bracket and then mount it to the intercooler, and then use these little grommets as support, you know, and cushion too, so it's not rough and it doesn't break the welds and stuff like that. So this is the idea. So the idea is to make a little cup or something, weld up a little cup, and then weld a 3/8 inch tube that goes all the way over here, and then it has a tab that we can insert these and it'll provide cushion for us, and goes over there and then down, which is pretty easy. So yeah. Alright, so this is the idea. We're going to use these radiator stay grommets. They're actually perfect. And then I picked up these little tabs from TMR Customs. And then we bolt it up to the intercooler. And then what we're going to do is take the tubing and just weld it to the tubing like that. And I think it would be very nice. Be really good. So I'm going to drill out another one, and then we'll go from there. Just like that. And then we're gonna weld the 3/8 inch tubing right here. And yeah. your boy here is gonna try to throw some welds down. But before that, we had to remake these cups because the 1.5 was too big. So we remade it with 1-inch pipe, and then I had to notch it a little bit right here just so it'll fit in there nicely. Right now I'm gonna mount these first, try to bend up some 1/2-inch piping, throw some tacks on there. Alright, so I got my measurements. I got 3.5 inches, and then we're gonna do a 90-degree bend, and then goes up another 3.25 inches, and then it does a 45 into 22.75, and then back down and then back up. I hate bending tubes, so. And I hate measuring angles, so we're probably gonna fuck this up, but we'll see. All right, so I got this little rigid 1/2-inch tubing bender. FYI, this same tubing bender at Home Depot was $120 cheaper than this one. This one I got from Grainger because this was in stock at Grainger and it wasn't at Home Depot, so I'm probably gonna use this and then return it. All right, have you guys ever used a tubing cutter? Well, it's easy to use on aluminum because it's softer, but on these things are a bitch, so save yourself the trouble. Here's a tip. Drill in there. Bam, like a boss. Alright, see? I told you, your boy never lies. I told you we was gonna fuck up somewhere. And this is where we goofed up. This is the aftermath. Look at that. Bunch of pipes. I'm gonna have to do some research on how to bend pipes properly because apparently I don't know how to bend pipe. And I mean, I've bent the brake lines and stuff before, but you know, those are 3/16, so they don't stretch as much as, you know, these 1/2-inch and stuff. So I will be right back. Hold up. Your boy's back and I nailed it. See that? Yeah. The trick is to always make a bend in the angle that you want. Measure it out. So this is basically our angle finder and measurements and stuff. So look at that, it's perfect now. So the idea, like that, it'll sit just like that. I made it a little bit longer so that way we can cut it and notch it to where it'll sit flush into here and then weld it. We're gonna figure out a way to put one of the ballistic badges on there. So alright, so I know I said I was gonna tack it by myself, but we officially got a welder now. This is Eric, and he's gonna be tacking up the and welding up the brackets for us. So cue the B-roll. So we finished making the front brackets. or bracket. And then this is the rear bracket. All we have to do now is rivet this badge in. We still need to make the bracket for the radiator, for the V-mount. And then once that is done, then I'll take all this apart and then I'm gonna Cerakote it. Once Cerakoted, then we can rivet the badge in. More tomorrow, because it's about 1 a.m. right now. We've been doing this for 6 hours, so. Catch you guys tomorrow. Blooper. It's the next day. I got everything bolted in already. This is the front bar. I just ordered new OEM grommets, so they should be in here tomorrow. I ordered 10 of them, so we'll have plenty to use for the whole setup. Or this is the rear bar, and then this is the front bracket. So we got all that bolted up. Now what we need to do is I need to put the condenser, mount the condenser up. That way when we put the radiator, we can angle it and see where we need to mount it. Right. This is the old condenser. I kind of stripped the fitting on here and then we had to fix it. But I still think it's leaking. Being the OCD that I am, got a brand new one.
Are you serious?
Yep. So what I need to do now is make little spacers for this first. That way whenever we bolt it in, it doesn't, like what I did here. I broke it. So we got the condenser mounted. After careful consideration on how we want to mount this, what I tried to refrain from doing is drilling any more holes in the frame of the car, because previously the way I had it was I had like a little L bracket for the radiator down here. Now I kind of drilled it wrong and put the rivet in the wrong place over here. But anyways, I didn't want to do that, so what I thought about doing was making another one of these cups and mounting it here. But what happens is the way the radiator sits and the way the mounts are on the radiator, they have to mount from the side over here. So this sits too low. So if we started from here, we would have like this gap right here. So I'm gonna make another one of these cups and then drill a hole right here, put a rib nut, and then that way we can do the tube down here. The tube will go from up there, down, around, and then back up, and then I'll have like a little standoff right here. It's a little standoff right here or something that holds it, and I think that's the best thing that we could do. Like I said, this is the next day. I pondered different ways to do it, and there's no other way than to do it like that. So let's go get our measurements and bend our tubing. All right, so essentially this is what it's gonna look like. And then this cup right about here, and then it'll go all the way around. That's the best that we could do, guys. Nothing else we can do, just because the clearance we have in between here and the frame rail is not that much, so it is what it is. All right. She looks perfect. Everything fits tight. All right, so now what we have to do is tack this to the tube, because we can't even drill these into the body yet because we need to know where to mount it and where to angle to drill the holes for the rib nuts. So I want to make sure we get this out the way first. That way we have something even that we can line up and stuff like that. So let's get to it. Here goes nothing. Alright, it's the moment of truth. Now we have to weld these tabs to the bracket. I am extremely terrified because both of these are thin. I don't want to blow a hole through it. So, wish me luck, guys. Alright, boys and girls. This is the best I could do on my first try. I think it'll hold. It looks good. It's very solid. But I think once we paint this black and it goes in the car, you won't even see the welds. So I'll keep practicing. One day, y'all gonna pay me to fabricate stuff for you guys. Mark my words. That's it, guys. Your boy made it. Finished. Finished. It looks very, very sexy. So now what we need to do is measure, mark the holes for those, and then put the rivets in, the rib nuts. Alright, so before we proceed, I kind of just slapped it in there. It fits tight. Fits nicely. But what we're gonna do is put the Voltex bumper on and then make sure everything is lined up good before I start drilling any holes. Because what I want is this lip to line right up to the front bumper. I mean, to the radiator. So that way we can get that.
Jelly bean.
So we got it bolted and rib nuts in on the top already. All we have to do now is find a way to. I was thinking about welding another pipe from here to here, but I'm thinking maybe we should use splitter rods. That way we can adjust it or whatever. You know, I think it'll look good. So to Amazon it is. Alright guys, that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, remember to smash that like button and smash that subscribe button, okay? That's all you guys need to do. You don't have, you know, it'll help out the channel a lot. On the next episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be disassembling the motor, and we're going to be Cerakoting everything. So peace out. I love you guys, and remember, authenticity is king. Peace out.
Mm-hmm.